Are you tired of those limitations with your current printing setup? Maybe you're looking to step up your DTF game, or perhaps you're finally ready to dive into the world of DTF printing, but you feel a little overwhelmed by all of the choices. If that sounds like you are in the right place. What's up guys, my name is Alex, and if you guys are new here, I am the owner of amstransfers.com. We're a custom screen print and DTF transfer supplier located in Houston, Texas. We're currently running 4 24-inch i3200 Audley DTF printers, and we've been in business since about March 2020. In today's video, I wanted to tackle a crucial topic that is going to be perfect for anyone looking to buy a mid-range DTF printer in 2025. We're going to be breaking down some of the top contenders, helping you decide which machine fits your needs and budget. To make things easy, I'm dividing this guide into 2 main sections based on what you might prioritize. First and foremost, we're going to be looking at the options for those of you who might value support. I'm talking about that on-site setup and that extra peace of mind. Then, I'm also going to be going completely deep diving into the recommendations for those of you who are a little bit more budget conscious and are comfortable taking a more hands-on approach. You're just focused on getting the best deal possible. Within each of these 2 sections, we'll cover both 2-head and 4-head DTF printer options, plus some honorable mentions to make sure that this is as good of a video, as good of an overview of the DTF printers in this category as I can for you. If this doesn't sound like you, don't worry guys, I have another video specifically focused for those of you who still might be in your house, in your garage, working out of a spare bedroom, whatever it is. So I'm going to link that video in the corner. Make sure you guys go check that out. In there I have a whole bunch of different options directly for you. Now, in this guide, I packed it full of information that I gathered from various sources. I'm talking manufacturer specs, user experiences, industry insights, YouTube videos. Like, I'm literally aiming to give you the most comprehensive overview that I possibly can. The best video that you've ever seen on mid-range DTF printers on YouTube. So if you're someone who wants that extra layer of support, you want that smoother entry into the world of DTF printing, let's head into our first section, DTF printers with full support. Now, for those of you who prioritize comprehensive support, hassle-free setup, and dedicated training, the higher upfront investment in a DTF printer from a US-based supplier can be well worth it. Knowing you have someone to call when you need some help, frankly, and even come to your location, it can be an absolute game changer, especially when you're just starting out. Our first recommendation in this category is going to be the Bobcat 24-inch 2-head DTF printer. This is a very solid and reliable machine. In fact, it might look eerily similar to some of the DTF printers that you see behind me in my videos, and that's essentially because it is just a rebranded model with a fresh coat of paint. The real benefit here is going to be the incredible support that you get from DTF Superstore. And let me just start by saying, none of the products in this video are going to be sponsored, paid for. I'm not making any money off of you buying any of these products. Like, there's no sponsorship, affiliate, nothing. I have nothing to do with DTF Superstore. I am literally just telling you what I think I would buy if I were you in those shoes. This is not, I'm not being paid to make this video by anybody. But with all of that said, the Bobcat 24-inch, you get 2 full days of on-site support and training by a certified technician from DTF Superstore. This hands-on guidance can be invaluable in getting up and running quickly and, most importantly, correctly. You also get a solid warranty, a 1-year limited warranty on the printer, and a fantastic 2-year warranty on the print heads. Guys, when I was doing my research for this, I had to like triple take on that. What, a 2-year warranty on the print heads? The big caveat here is that you need to use the DuPont ink. So you gotta pay like the most expensive price for the ink, but a 2-year warranty on the print heads, that's pretty unheard of. Plus you'll have access to US-based support via phone and email whenever you need it. The Bobcat 24-inch comes bundled with the Digital Factory. It is the RIP that you're going to use for all of your designs to get the actual images onto the printer. It is a super powerful tool for managing your prints, and it also includes a starter ink, powder, film. You're gonna have everything you need to get started right away with that package. Looking at the specs for this guy, this printer offers a 24-inch with printing, and it is equipped with 2 high-quality Epson i3200 A1 print heads configured for CMYK white ink. It is built with high precision manufacturing for alignment, and it even has that backlight for easy quality control that you can use it while you're printing. Again, it's literally the printers back there. It also has the white ink circulation and stirring, as well as having easy access to all of the essential components. You can expect speeds of over 75 10x10 prints per hour, and it uses conventional ink tanks, the 1 liter bottles of ink per color. So the pros of this machine are going to be the clear and comprehensive that you get with buying a printer from DTF Superstore. You're going to get that on-site support and training. You get the good warranty, and I mean the 2-year printheads, come on, man. And DTF Superstore has been around for a while. They've been in the game for as long as I have been, as long as I can remember. They're gaining a reputation for reliability, and this has become a fantastic option for those of you who want a more hassle-free, right out of the box experience. Now let's get into some of the cons. I think first and foremost, we all know the main con is going to be that higher upfront cost purchasing directly from China. Coming in at $15,999, this is not going to be something that most are going to be able to afford on an impulse purchase. This is going to require some thought. Okay, now if reliability and support of a 2-head system appeal to you, but you're looking for even more production power, let's take a look at some of the 4-head recommendation options in this category. Now, sticking with DTF Superstore, the recommendation I would have for 4-head US-based DTF printers is going to be the Jackrabbit 24-inch. The Jackrabbit 24-inch 4-head DTF printer, also from DTF Superstore, comes equipped with quad Epson i3200A1 printheads, making it ideal for higher production volumes, and it boasts an impressive productivity of up to 180 square feet per hour, guys. I mean, with the Jackrabbit, you pair this with the BMAC Industry Super Shaker that it comes with, and I mean, while the BMAC, like the Super Shaker from BMAC, is undoubtedly a top-tier machine, it's like the Ferrari of DTF printer curing and oven shakers. Keep in mind, you could potentially buy just the printer, like the Jackrabbit 24-inch with the 4 heads, and then maybe a more affordable curing drying system. That would still be compatible with the printer, and you could save a little bit of money that way. Now, just like the Bobcat, the Jackrabbit comes with on-site installation and training, along with their similar warranty and a US-based support. The 2-head printhead warranty, but you do get still the digital factory rip, you get the starter supplies, and the primary pros with this machine are going to be that significantly higher production output that you can achieve with those 4 DTF printheads. Now the cons, you can include that higher cost of the BMAC dryer. That brings it up to $22,999. And it is also worth noting, some users have reported issues with 4-head DTF printers. 4-head DTF printers can come with more complexity. It's going to come with more maintenance. It's going to come with potentially more alignment issues, and it's just something to keep in mind. But I think if you are at the point where a 2-head DTF printer isn't enough and you are considering something like a 4-head, these are just going to be problems that you're going to have to figure out. Now, the honorable mention for this category, before we move on to the budget-friendly options, I wanted to give a quick mention to the Mongoose III 24-inch 2-head DTF printing system. Now, this machine, also available from DTF Superstore. Guys, not sponsored, I promise. I'm not getting a dime from DTF Superstore, literally not even an affiliate link. But they do offer a nice balance of performance and cost, which is mainly why I couldn't not include them. But it features that same dual Epson i3200 printhead. It comes with a more affordable compact DTF shaker oven. You still get the on-site installation and training, along with the 1-year printer and the warranty. Not to mention the US-based support. So if you are looking for a solid 2-head printer system that has good support, a slightly lower price, really any of these 3 options are going to be great. Take a look at the Mongoose 3 for a little bit more information on the specs, but it is something worth considering. Now, for those of you who are comfortable rolling up your sleeves, doing a bit more troubleshooting, and are primarily focused on getting the best possible price, our next section is going to be for you. We're heading over to look at some of the options when purchasing directly from the manufacturer in China. Purchasing a DTF printer directly from the manufacturer in China, often on platforms like Alibaba, can offer significant cost savings. However, it's important to understand that this path typically involves more self-reliance for setup. So you're going to be troubleshooting this yourself and potentially dealing with that language barrier for support. As I've discussed on my YouTube channel many times before, the savings can be huge. I'm talking substantial, but you do need to be prepared for a lot different experience compared to buying from a local supplier here in the US. Now, first and foremost, being that language barrier exists, if you think that you're going to be able to call up these people, like call up the manufacturer in China, get somebody on the phone, you're going to be sorely mistaken. But I mean, it's just one of the many trade-offs that you have to make in return for literally up to a 50% cost savings. You could literally save 50% as opposed to buying one of the DTF printers that I mentioned earlier, or just buying from an American reseller. Now, for the two-head DTF printers, our first recommendation for a hands-on buyer is going to be the Audley 24-inch two-head DTF printer. Now again, guys, I might be a little biased. I have 4 of them, but these printers, they're seriously amazing. Like I bought one in 2022, bought another one in 2023, and then I bought 2 more in 2024. Audley 24-inch two-head i3200 printer comes with a 24-inch printing width. It's going to have the dual i3200A1 print heads, and it is worth noting that some listings on Alibaba, they do have the XP600. Don't go for that. That's an alternative, but just don't even waste your time. For the best performance and resolution, you're going to want to stick with the i3200. That can get you up to a 3200 DPI, and we really do recommend the i3200 for focusing on like production quality DTF prints. Now with this recommendation, it also does include the upgraded DF800 shaker oven. This is a crucial part of the DTF printing process for applying and curing the adhesive powder. This setup is a great option for the budget-conscious buyer who are willing to do some troubleshooting, who are willing to be a little bit more hands-on. As I've talked about on my channel, purchasing a DTF printer directly from Audley on Alibaba, it can lead to huge cost savings, especially when you compare it to some of the US resellers. We only paid about $9,200 all in for our first two-head Audley DTF printing setup. This included shipping, initial supplies, and while comparable US DTF-based machines were significantly more expensive, we ended up choosing a two-head configuration because we wanted the reliability. And when this did happen up in 2022, the reliability of DTF printers, the game has changed, guys. It was completely different back then, and we thought that a two-head configuration was going to have a lot more reliability compared to a 4-head model based on really the research that we had at the time. Now we still have this DTF printer. It is literally the DTF printer back there. We use it in our business every single day. So believe me when I tell you, we know this printer inside and out. Audley DTF printers, and really for the most part, every single DTF printer, typically features a CMYK plus white, possibly even some other colors, pigment-based ink system. And if it is a good DTF printer, you're gonna have that white ink circulation system to prevent clogging, well, to help with clogging. Nothing's going to prevent it, but you do what you can. These DTF printers are roll-to-roll printers, so they're going to be designed for PET film, and many models are going to use the automatic grade easy operation, so it's going to be compatible with almost any rip. It does come bundled with main top, so again, those of you guys who have seen my videos, you know how I feel about main top. You can expect a 1-year warranty on the product, but again, this is something from China, so at the end of the day, if they feel like they don't want to support your product anymore, they can just up and leave. You don't have anyone who you can like fight in court, that type of thing. You are taking a risk at the end of the day. And the big other thing is that the warranty that you get from buying a DTF printer directly from the manufacturer excludes the print heads. So if anything goes wrong with the DTF printer, and if anything goes wrong, especially with the print heads, that is going to be on you. Okay, so kind of as I alluded, I would really say the absolute worst part about buying a DTF printer from Audley is that they come bundled with the main top RIP software. Now, main top is known for being outdated, unreliable, and it's missing essential features that can make your workflow like seriously painful, way more difficult than it needs to be. All right, so these are by no means all, but this is just a few of the reasons why personally I think main top is terrible. You're gonna have limited color accuracy. Main top, I don't know what it is, but they just struggle with color consistency, which is kind of a big deal when you need accurate color prints for your customers. Secondly, it has honestly some of the worst white ink handling that I've ever seen. DTF printing obviously requires precise control of the white ink underlayers, and main top, I'm serious guys, is notorious for producing some of the most grainy, patchy white ink layers that I've ever seen. Then there's the clunky user interface, which I can just gloss right over. I'm sure those of you guys who know, you know. Then there's also the frequent crashes and the just absolutely lack of updates. Maintop has been around for a while, but it is seriously like never updated. And guys, just don't get me started on this. You really should be using Digital Factory, and I just think it's something you should incorporate in the cost when you're buying a DTF printer directly from Audley. You get superior color management, you're gonna get richer, more vibrant colors. Again, this is not sponsored, guys, but you have so much more control over your ink layers. You can get smooth gradients, better white ink layering, a higher quality final product. I'm telling you, it's worth it. With Digital Factory, you also get an optimized print speed. You can have an optimized print pass, and you're going to, which can basically just reduce the banding, and it's going to give you a cleaner, more professional print. And if you're getting an Audley printer, I highly recommend skipping Maintop, investing in Digital Factory. It'll make a massive difference in your print quality, efficiency, and the long-term usability of buying a DTF printer directly from the manufacturer in China. So some of the pros is it's not going to be all terrible. It's not all going to be Maintop, but I would say the main pro is probably going to be that significantly lower upfront cost of buying the printer and the shaker oven. And you could even, again, potentially buy some supplies like we did. And at the end of the day, the DTF printers that we showed earlier in this video, the ones that come with the nice fancy support, they are most likely just rebranded and painted Audley machines that they are importing and supporting from China. This machine is highly capable, guys, and it is seriously just not, if not more capable than the previous machines that I mentioned in the first part of this video. Now, for the absolute best part, this DTF printer is going to come in at before shipping, that is before accessories, supplies, everything like that. But that is serious, guys. That is cheaper than some of the DTF printers that I mentioned in my first video, the budget one. So it's a serious cost savings, guys, but let's just get into the cons. There are obviously some. So the cons are going to be that hands-on setup. You're gonna have to troubleshoot this yourself. You're going to potentially have to deal with that language barrier, the time barriers with support. We are here in the US, they're in China. There's like a 12-hour time difference. So it ultimately is going to be your responsibility for managing the DTF printer. And not only that, but you also have to kind of manage getting the DTF printer to you. So you have to get the DTF printer over to you from China. This is delivered duties paid, and this shipping can significantly simplify this by making Audley responsible for all of the costs until delivery. So until it gets to your door, it's basically Audley's responsibility. They're going to tax you on this. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than if you did it yourself, but you are going to have that peace of mind. It's one of like the only peace of minds that you can get, but you're paying for it, right? So everything about this, you're paying for what you want. If you do want that high quality support, you can choose one of the DTF printers that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. But if you're looking for the cheapest option, you want to get your hands dirty, this section and this DTF printer I think can be a really great option. Now let's talk about configuration pricing, because this is really where some of the things can heat up when configuring your setup. A common budget-friendly Audley package includes the S7070 printer, just for the DTF printer, so that doesn't come with any print heads, keep in mind. That's just the cost for the actual DTF printer. Then you're going to pay for the shaker, the DF800 powder shaker. That's going to cost you, that's going to be the shaker thing that you see right here. Next up, you do have to pay the print heads separately. The Epson i3200 A1 print heads, you're going to need 2 of these bad boys. That's going to get you at $888 each. I know it sucks, but gotta foot the bill. That's going to cost you $1,776 for the 2 of those DTF printers. I'm sorry, the 2 of those DTF print heads, and that is going to bring your total to a whopping, absolute, jaw-droppingly low. That's, again, before shipping. So if you were to do what I said at the beginning of this video and upgrade from the terrible Maintop to Digital Factory, Digital Factory is not cheap. That does cost an extra $1,000. So depending on which version you choose, $1,000 to $1,500, just add that onto your cost. Again, this is going to increase your upfront cost. It's no doubt going to, but the long-term benefits that you're going to get in print quality, efficiency, color accuracy, I'm telling you guys, it's going to make it a no-brainer. Maintaining accurate colors and consistent white ink laying down, guys, it's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands, in not only time, wasted transfers, and reprints over time. Plus there's also the customer satisfaction. I mean, can you really even put a price on that? Now guys, on top of the printing and the curing system, what I just said, the almost $7,000, you have to factor in shipping and import fees. And as of the time of making this video, it's currently March 2025, you might have to factor in tariffs. So when you're ordering a DTF printer directly from China, most buyers, including myself, opt for delivery duty paid DDP shipping. This ensures that customs clearance, import taxes, freight logistics, like all of that, that's going to be handled for you. DDP shipping typically ranges from $1,200 to like $2,000, depending on the shipping provider that you choose, the size of your shipment, and your location wherever you are. So this is going to be a crucial cost to consider when failing to account for it. It can lead to a lot of unexpected expenses and probably most importantly, delays. Now, adding this to your previous total with all of the other costs, your all-in total for an Audley 2-head DTF printing system with the powder shaker, with shipping DDP, is probably going to land you somewhere around $8,000 to $9,000. Now this is before any supplies, additional software upgrades, anything like that. So for the things that you need that are important to you and your business, just make sure that you're taking those into account. Now this is just for a 2-head system. For a 4-head setup, the costs increase even further due to the additional print heads. At $888 a piece, those are gonna cost, man. And not to mention, you have a significantly larger curing shaking oven system. With all of this combined, that can push a 4-head DTF printing system often into well past the $10,000 range. Now, of course, this still comes in way lower than any of the US branded equivalents, and it's important to know the full picture kind of before you commit and you make the decision. Now, for those of you guys who are even more ambitious, and you're looking for the highest, the absolute highest possible output that you can potentially achieve while getting that rock bottom price, let's talk about the 4-head DTF printing system from Audley. For those of you seeking maximum speed on a tighter budget, an Audley 4-head DTF printer purchased directly from Audley could be an option. Based on the information we found, you might be looking at a breakdown something like this. So the model S8074-3, this is without the print heads again, keep in mind, is listed at $3,099. And then with that DF800L version, this is the new model shaker, that's gonna run you $2,699. And then again, those 4 i3200A1 print heads, $888 a piece. That's gonna bring the potential hardware costs alone for this printer to only, again, I say only, but relative to the printers that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, $9,350. Now keep in mind, these are price estimates. They do not include shipping, like I mentioned before, or any of the potentially other fees. This option, let me just say, it definitely requires some assembly and a good amount of technical know-how on like how to set it up, how to maintain it. It really is ideal for users who are going to be prioritizing that performance and potentially faster printing speeds over that brand name warranty. And I mean, you're gonna have to be readily available to support this machine. With this DTF printer, you can achieve speeds of up to 150 square feet per hour in something like a 4-pass mode on a 4-head DTF printer. This is significantly faster than those 2-head print options that we mentioned earlier. The biggest pro is going to be the highest potential printing speed for the absolute lowest cost for the initial hardware. But you got to consider the cons. However, the cons, they can be significant. There's a higher risk of needing technical expertise for setup and ongoing maintenance. And as we discussed earlier, 4-head printers have been reported by some users to have frequent issues with registration, breakdowns. It can be a problem. I think we've come a long way since things were when I first did my research on this and got into it. Seeing some of the options that have come out lately, I've been impressed. And to be quite frank with you, if we do buy an additional DTF printer for our business, well, I probably should say when we do, we will be looking at a 4-head option. Now, same as the 2-head, the warranty and support are going to be so much less comprehensive than some of the US-based suppliers, but that's just one of the things that you have to consider if you're willing to take into consideration when you're making this kind of a purchase. If it doesn't sound like you, that's totally fine. You just gotta maybe stick to one of the 2 options that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, as those are going to have that hand-holding support that you might need. They're going to be someone you can call up. Hey, I'm running into this issue. I have a problem. There's also other, like DTF Superstore literally has I think it's like a guarantee or something, where if your printer goes down, you bought it from them within that like service period, that warranty, If any of your orders that you have in your queue you can't fulfill because of that, you can send them to DTF Superstore. They'll print and ship them for you. So it's like they in a way have your back. And like I've been saying, over the years they've kind of been gaining that reputation for reliability. So if that is you, you are someone who you just need something that works. I mean, I'm not saying that those printer options are going to be that, but if you need someone who is there for you when it stops working, I should probably say, then you got to consider one of the first options. But if you're just looking for the cheapest possible cost, you're pretty technical, you're willing to get your hands dirty and troubleshoot, I think these printers from China, the Audley options that I mentioned, that's the ones that we went with at the end of the day, and that's the ones that we would go with again. Now, finally, an honorable mention. I just want to say, I don't know what this printer is. I didn't hear about it before until I did the research for this video. The Audley 24-inch auto clean DTF printer. So this is the model number 8072-3. This was listed at $67.50, and this comes with the shaker. So it's the DF800A-Pro. That's the actual oven shaker combo. So with this DTF printer, you get the shaker and the printer combined. So that's the $6,750. You still have to pay for the print heads. It's going to be the two i3200 print heads. And those combined, all of that, you're going to get $1,776 for the print heads. Plus the printer system, you'll be around $8,526 before shipping and other costs. So kind of the key benefit with this DTF printer, and there's actually a few. One, the automatic cleaning system, so it can significantly reduce the maintenance time and costs and the risk of print head clogs with the automatic cleaning system. We'll have to maybe get our hands on that. Audley, if you're watching this, if you would like to send us a DTF printer so we can make a video about it, but we'll have to get our hands on it to see if something like that actually does provide value. Might be something that just ends up wasting ink, but who knows? It could be something interesting. The Wi-Fi, this printer also comes with Wi-Fi, so that's kind of an interesting value addition. I think I might do like a full video on this printer, so get subscribed if you're interested in that. But this can also just be a great middle ground for users who want a little bit more automation without the full costs of something like that US-based option. Now this printer, while it is like a smart DTF printer or whatever Audley wants to call it, it still does require a more hands-on approach to support compared to buying domestically. All right, so we've looked at a range of mid-range DTF printer options. For those of you who are in a small business, you have a warehouse, you have some sort of shop space where you operate your business, I feel like I've done the best job that I can do giving you all of the options that is in kind of this DTF printer category, catering to really whatever your priorities and comfort level is. So let's just wrap this up with some key considerations to help you make the best decision for your business. All right, so we started off with the Bobcat 24-inch two-head DTF printer and the Jackrabbit 24-inch four-head DTF printer. These were going to be the options for those of you who are interested in the full support. You want that on-site setup, and you're going to get a phone number for someone you can call whenever you have a problem. Then we talked about the overseas option, the Audley 24-inch two-head and the Audley 24-inch four-head. This is going to be for the hands-on budget-conscious buyers. We also had a couple honorable mentions, the Mongoose III and the Audley Smart Auto Clean model. Both of those, I really encourage you to just look it up and go a little bit more into detail if you are interested in those. That Audley one, I'm telling you, I think I'm gonna do a video on it. It's cool, I'm pretty interested in that one. But ultimately, the best printer for you, it's going to depend on whether you value that peace of mind and support that you can get from a US-based supplier, or you're looking to just save a buck and you are willing to handle more of the setup, handle more of the maintenance yourself. You're a hands-on person, you are down to get dirty. This is going to be a great option for you, and you can put a little bit more money in your pocket. So if you came to this video and you're like, okay, he just basically told me all four of the options, I still have to decide. I'll make it easy for you. If you are in a business, you're in a warehouse, you have a shop space, you're looking to kind of upgrade maybe from a 13-inch DTF printer, or maybe you do screen printing and you're like, I need to get into this DTF space, what do I buy? If you value that hands-on support, the training, the smoother initial experience, I would seriously consider the Bobcat 24-inch. That's honestly one of these DTF printers that you see behind me, just with DTF Superstore supporting it. Yes, the upfront cost is higher, but with those included value adds, the robust support network, it can be invaluable to those of you who value those type of things. It can be invaluable, especially if you're new to DTF printing. These things, I would not put a price on them. But if you are a little bit more comfortable with more of a DIY approach, you're highly budget conscious, and you're willing to invest the time in learning and troubleshooting, the Audley options from Alibaba, I'm telling you, man, they can offer considerable cost savings, but it is important to make sure that I note to you guys, because I'm not taking any responsibility for it, for you buying a bad DTF printer, but just make sure you guys do your research on it. Look into everything, look into the specs, look at the reviews on the actual person that you're buying it from. If you're buying it from DTF Superstore, look up some other people's videos on it. If there are reviews on the printer itself, I don't know if they're like maybe some Google reviews, just look at the reviews for the person that you're buying it from. I would buy it from a reputable source, someone that has been around for maybe at least 3-4 years. DTF Superstore, like I said, they're beginning to make a name for themselves, but they are by no means the only one selling these DTF printers. Taking the delivery of these printers from China, slapping a new paint job on it, their logo, and then selling it to you and supporting it, they're not by any means the only ones doing it. So make sure you look into it, find one that works for you, fully understand the potential challenges, especially if you're doing some of those international purchases. And I think lastly, just carefully consider your current and your projected production volume when you're deciding between a 2 and a 4 head. While 4 heads, there's no doubt about it, they offer that faster production speed. There is 2 times the risk of a potential problem occurring with the print head. With more frequent issues, this is just something to weigh, and it can affect your output. Now, no matter which route you choose, there's going to be some essential factors that you have to keep in mind. Don't just look at the printer price, and make sure that you're factoring in the cost of the shaker, the dryer, the shipping, potential import duties, and just the supplies. Make sure you're taking all of the necessary costs, software and accessories. Make sure you're taking everything into consideration when you're building your cost analysis and comparing the options. Secondly, guys, make sure you're considering the space that these DTF printers take up. As you can see, they're not small machines. You have to make sure that you have adequate and a suitable environment for the DTF printer and the drying equipment. As I mentioned before on this channel, proper ventilation is absolutely critical to making sure that the fumes that these DTF printers produce are carefully and properly evaporated from the space. And when it comes to the technical aptitude, just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about the comfort level that you have when it comes to setting up, maintaining, troubleshooting, and just dealing with technical equipment. This is going to obviously be especially important if you are buying directly overseas, where the immediate on-site support is not going to be available. But to be honest, you are going to have to deal with these problems even if you do buy from a US-based supplier. The warranty is only for a year at the end of the day, so after a year, you're going to be on your own. So my best advice is going to be do your own research, take the stuff that I have shown you in this video, make sure that you read any available reviews, watch other videos from users who have purchased the models that you're considering, and carefully assess your own business, your needs, your technical capabilities before you actually pull the trigger and make a final decision. I really hope this guide has been helpful to you guys in kind of navigating the intense world that DTF printers have become, and the just insane amount of amazing options when it comes to mid-range DTF printers. If you have found this information to be helpful, please, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like on this video. That just kind of tells YouTube to push it to more people like you. And if you want to stay up to date on all things DTF, you are anxious on part 3 of this video, kind of telling you the industrial commercial options for DTF printers. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or you guys want to share some of your own experiences, leave a comment in the comment section below. I read and respond to all of the comments that still come on my page, so I'd love to talk to you guys. We have more DTF videos coming. I have been daily vlogging my DTF business throughout the years, so make sure you guys check out the channel if you're interested. Get subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video.
Check this out.